Y'all, welcome back to another video. In this one, I am going to be doing a lesson on world building because apparently there's some people who need it. What had originally inspired this video is the fact that someone was talking about Elbaf in the newest manga chapter, and they showed a landscape and they said that was world building. And as you can see here, I tried to find it, I couldn't find it, but this is even worse. If we're being honest, this is not world building. So we're going to talk about world building in this video, and we're going to use two examples. One Piece being the obvious one, right? Obviously, you know what I'm saying. And then it's going to be Gachi Okuta. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm only like 21 chapters into this, but through 21 chapters there's enough that honestly we're only using like the first 8 chapters. So yeah, we're using these two to explain what world building is today. So yeah, let's get started. This is the definition of world building. Alright, this is the direct information of world building, or definition of world building. It's construction of imaginary world or setting. So you know how the characters affect the area, or how the area works. I guess like we'll be talking about Sabaody and stuff. So, you know, civilization, like different cultures and customs, yada yada. Let's get into it. Fucking island in One Piece. I probably won't even touch on every little thing about. There's probably stuff I forget to talk about when it comes to Sabaody. But I'm gonna just talk about this and probably a little bit of Wano, and I think I'll do Elbaf later just to show off like. Just so to avoid like manga spoilers and stuff for those who aren't caught up. But Sabaody is pretty much a bunch of trees, right? It's a bunch of trees. Like these are roots, and it's not actually like an island. It's a bunch of islands, right? They're like grow like 44, 43. They're all its own unique island. One island might be different from the other, but essentially it just creates a unique atmosphere to where like these bubbles that you see here. It allows them to exist and not pop instantly. That's why when they'll float up above the tree, it's the trees that create this atmosphere, right? Once they float up above the trees, they pop because they can't survive outside of this environment. We see that we learned like their way of transportation is with these bubbles. They have like a little bubble car, and someone was trying to sell them as like a scam, but like that bubble car will. It's unique here. It explains why we haven't seen it anywhere else in One Piece. Anyone else like driving one? It just won't survive in the fucking. It won't survive outside this atmosphere. I think they could survive in Fishman Island. I'm not sure because if I'm remember, but either way, yeah. So like and there's like depending what island you're on, there's different ways to travel, right? Like you go to Alabasta due to the environment and stuff. You travel on camels, and in a place like Water 7 you travel on through like these water creatures, like these like sea horses, I guess. I don't want to call them sea horses, but like they're like what they're pretty much water horses though. So like they're riding on them in the water because they travel through like water is pretty much their roads there. So like yeah, that's just one way to travel into it. So again, One Piece brings us a lot of different ways to like travel depending where you're at too. That's something unique about it. You look at Skypiea, they have the waivers, stuff like that. But back to Sabaody. Sabaody also has it's close to its location matters too. It's close to like it's close to Navy headquarters, right? So there's Marines on this island, so you got to be careful what you're doing. Because it's close to headquarters, Celestial Dragons have their slave auction houses here. So you're not supposed to touch a Celestial Dragon or anything like that. So if you hit a Celestial Dragon, even though you're not supposed to, it will. An admiral could come in. You're kind of cooked because they're so close in Navy headquarters. And since they're close to Navy headquarters. That there's Navy on this island, like Marines on this island actively, like often. But there's a certain part in Sabaody. I don't know if y'all remember this, but I do. Pretty much this is where you're probably gonna get kidnapped or whatever, because scumbags want to make money and sell you in this like slave auction house or whatever. But there's like a certain section you shouldn't be entering in Sabaody, because that's where criminals lie, right? Because that Marines don't really be there in Sabaody. They be around that area, I guess, right? Like they be in more places than others, and they're really not in that area. So criminals do whatever they please there, essentially. So that's like the gist of Sabaody, though, like what it brings. I'm sure there's other stuff I'm not quite remembering, but like I think that's the gist of what Sabaody brings as itself as an island. Yeah. In a place like Wano, we see how like a tyrant is like ruining everything, right? We see how this is affecting other people. We see these people's culture, right? Like we see some of their customs. They have different currency. We see that they throw a festival throwing their wishes into the air. So they'll like, that's their festival. That's a custom of theirs. They'll throw like their dreams or their wishes, what they want to happen. They'll throw it into the air. People wanted, we see at the end of the fucking arc, people were wishing for Orochi and shit to go away, to be gone. Yeah, that's just a custom there. Again, they have a different currency. Skypiea also has a different currency. There's probably other places I'm not thinking of that have different currency. But those two, like, this place is closed off from the world government. So it absolutely makes sense that they have different currency than the rest of the world. I think I don't know I think it's just silver and gold. I'm not quite sure, but again, they have different currency. I forgot what Skypiea is called. We see the smile fruits affecting people. We see what's her name, Tama. She's drinking polluted water, because there's factories on this island pretty much polluting the place. So they have less food, polluted water, stuff like that, and yeah, they're essentially Kaido's ruining the place. But we're seeing how Kaido's actions is affecting people as well. It's been doing this for years and years and years. Like Luffy was in Water 7 and this was going on. You know what I'm saying? I also think something One Piece does well is that, like, the world is constantly moving. Like, Luffy could sit his ass down for a month and something's gonna happen. We see, like, over the 2-year time skip, we see, matter of fact, in Wano itself, before I go to the 2 years time skip, in Wano itself, people were still doing the revelry happened. You know, Mihawk shit, Blackbeard attacking Boa, Mihawk leaving in the casket. All that happened while we were in Wano. Everything to do with the warlord system pretty much happened while we were in, like, and the whole cake in Wano. So the world around Luffy, it's not like revolving around Luffy. It's not Luffy does something and then something happens. The world, Luffy isn't the only thing in the world, you feel me? If that makes sense. Like, everyone's still doing stuff, whether Luffy is or not. Not to slander it, you feel me? But like a series like Naruto, during his 2-year time skip, what the fuck was everyone doing exactly? Sitting on their asses is what it looked like. Off memory anyway. Like, nothing happened during that time skip. Again, Luffy trained for 2 years. Blackbeard becomes the Yonko. The Rocky Port incident with Blackbeard, Law and them happened. Law becomes a warlord. Aokiji versus Akainu happened. Stuff like that. The world continued, even though Luffy wasn't necessarily doing anything. But yeah, again, though, I think this Wano shows a good job of, like, you know, cultures, people, yada yada yada. Alright, so I think in chapter 1 of Gashi Akuda, like, this is probably like this has a lot in it. You know what I'm saying? So these people are pretty much celestial dragons. Speaking of, like, One Piece and shit, they're pretty much celestial dragons. they view themselves above everyone else. We had in their city is like split in half of like trash and like these trashy buildings and these nice looking buildings. Yeah, right here. You see, this is I forgot what they called them. Yeah, so this is where like the tribes people stay at. They're viewed as lower than these people. These people, again, celestial dragon type of people. They built them next to the abyss, or at least the main character thinks they built them next to like this little trash hole to show them like, I guess, what would happen if they do something like a crime or something. Again, these people are viewed as lower than these people in these people's eyes, and you could be here just because of lineage, which is fucking bullshit, but that's how this world works. That's how it works up here in the sky world, or that's what people down in the abyss. I'm jumping ahead, but yeah, these people are viewed as lower. Again, he's viewed as they dump these people into the abyss again if they act up, any criminal of any kind, but it's mainly them. And we see in this fucking I believe this chapter, they kind of frame our main character and they drop him down there too. But yeah, this is essentially just like a trash heap, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how this is looked at. Again, the main character is only here because his dad was a fucking murderer, bro. He didn't even do nothing wrong. He was here at like birth, bro. like that's just how fucked up this little society is here. But again, we see in like how society is. That's part of world building. How the society is up here, and then we end up finding out that them in this little trash hole shit that I was talking about, they dump all their trash down there. And it's affecting their actions above here is affecting other people because there's people who live down where they dump trash down. Like I'm telling y'all, the fucking rich people up here are the scum, bro. From what I see, you know what I'm saying. I mean, that's likely the case. Again, in my eyes, they're pretty much celestial dragons. The celestial dragons are scum. So, but yeah, this shit right here. When they drop people down there, you're dropping them down into a bunch of trash. And people live in these trash areas. There's a layout. I'll show y'all that in a second. Yeah, and those likely the rich people, the rich scumbags. As you can see here, he's pissed about it. But yeah, they end up dumping him down into the little trash heap. This trash heap, people are living down here, right? So essentially, the trash heap. There's like a complete. Where do you pretty much initially drop? You're dropping it to a place where like humans can't even breathe. Like I think you could breathe for like 15 minutes and then you feel me. So there's that. This it's somewhere this chapter. Yep. So we got this contaminated zone. We got the safe zone. So essentially, the safe zones is a bunch of walls where people can actually breathe and live normally. I mean, they explaining this right here if you want to read it. But yeah, this contaminated zone, it's not really a good place to live. But it's not like down here in the Forbidden Zone. This is a place where you can only live for like 15 minutes. This is where our main character drops down. Yeah, and essentially these people, I forgot what they call it. But what he is, like the cleaners or whatever, they end up defending like trash monsters and shit from getting into the walls and destroying the shit, essentially keeping them safe zones. That's essentially what they doing. They got a whole little workforce going on here to make sure that these stuff stay safe, from my understanding. And again, this is like you can't breathe in this bitch or you're gonna die. It says it like, yeah, see, if you don't wear the mask in the Forbidden Zone, you'll die in 15 minutes. Because the oxygen there is so bad. And the people above are what's causing this too. And our main character is probably going to saw that because he wants to kill them. And I'm with him. But, what's it called? Also, the people down here, they look for people who fall down. They sell their parts. That's how some people act down here. They view they view the people who drop as different people, as not people, I should say. Or some of them do. That they'll sell his armor eye and make a fortune off it for some fucking reason. That's just the sky. They call them sky people, and they don't necessarily, I guess, acknowledge that they're also people. So they're also there's some bad people down here, not like the rich, scum in this above world, but like I said, that's just how he like people will try to get him because he's up from where we seen him fall off at, and try to like sell him for parts or sell him and shit like that. That's just part of the world. He's pretty much worth $1 billion down here, right? you could make a fucking fortune with him. So yeah, that's how that's how some things work down here so far. Not caught up, but again, I'm only 21 chapters in, but I did this. Gachi Okuda has done a great job at like establishing the world so far. I think Gachi Okuda it's a good example of world building. If you want to talk about world building, I think it's a great example. From just like the chapters I've read, there's probably more, but yeah. Again, so we see how things work down here, and yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like this is how this setting has. We see how the setting affects people. We see how people have affected the setting, stuff like that. So yeah, Gachi Okuda, great example of world building. I think my fucking explanation of actual world building probably ain't the best, but like I know my examples are good. I know my examples are good. At the very least, I know I'm using good examples when it comes to fucking this world building, right? But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. Subscribe to the channel. I post anime manga content 4 times a week: Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Like the video if y'all liked it, and peace out. I'll just throw this at the end of the outro, after the outro, I guess. But Elbaf is the land of the giants. We know they got like 3 layers, like I forgot what the layers are called. I don't feel like looking it up, but I don't feel like scrolling this. What I'm trying to say, because this is a panel I wanted to show. This like them drawing a rainbow and traveling on the rainbow. This is something that is ordinary to them. You feel me? This is something that isn't like unique to it. Like in there, I was like, yeah, this is ordinary. What y'all don't got this? That's the land of Elbaf, right? Again, they're giants. And Oda shows that they're actually giant people. The Straw Hats are small enough to be on a Lego set in Elbaf. Okay, that's the actual buildings and infrastructure is also different, right? Like we see just a size difference, which ain't nothing crazy, but that is world building, right? Showing how these people have constructed shit that obviously to their size, but that's different from the rest of the One Piece world, obviously, because the rest of the One Piece world ain't giants. But yeah, they draw stuff with this, and they see this as ordinary. As you see here, it says nothing out of the ordinary. This shit is completely new to us. This shit is completely new to Straw Hats. This is out of the ordinary. This ain't something that everybody has. This is something unique to the giants, unique to Elbaf. Yeah, there's 3 layers to the to Elbaf. 3 realms where different villages and stuff reside on. I'm sure Oda will expand on what's on each layer and stuff as we go on through the arc. We got the land of the dead, where I'm pretty sure what's his face was on. This is probably where Kirby and stuff be at. This is where Loki was on. Then we got the land of the sun in heaven. So yeah, we'll see what all these places have to offer. I'm sure later in the future though. Also, we see in Egghead Island, the rest of the world react to new information. That's also world building within itself. We see the world that Oda has put together, these people on different islands. Yeah, everyone across the world that Oda has introduced to us are reacting to new information. So yeah, that's also part of world building. But yeah, that's going to actually be the end of this video. Subscribe to the channel, like the video if you liked it. Peace out.